Ooh, it's crazy out there. The twilight guys just left here. Am I a vampire right now?
I don't know what those sounds were.
Am I a nigga vampire? I don't know, man. Huh?
What were the sounds just now?
I feel like a vampire atheist. I'm killing priests right now. Nuns are getting slashed and bitten and fornicated, right?
I guess fornicating after you kill them. That's necrophilia.
We got Vegas up here, and maybe because I think if you live in Vegas, you have to be an atheist because Vegas is like hell on earth. You know, everybody's gambling, everybody's doing magic, and
first
what Penn at, man? PENN JILLETTE is here.
If there's atheists, there's no hell.
That's what I was just thinking.
That's the most important thing. And I hate to tell you, I'm an atheist and also a little skeptical of the vampire.
Am I a fake atheist? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, a little skeptical of the vampire.
You don't believe in vampires? That's like it made $1 billion this year.
Oh yeah, I do believe that the movies are successful.
I would love to see Penn being like an atheist vampire.
Yeah, but I think Penn's right though. Once you suspend disbelief enough to say vampires exist, then the God thing is not that far off.
Really simple.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that's cool with me, I became an atheist over the years from traveling the world. So me going to like Rome and going to Africa, seeing poverty, seeing rich, it's totally different. That's where I got my atheist from.
It looks like no one's in control.
Yeah. but is it bad that I become a little religious when I'm about to die? Because when I hang with 50 Cent, so when they pull the guns out on us, I'm like, oh shit, Jesus!
I guess you would, yeah.
You don't. What do you scream when you're like in a very like dangerous situation?
I'm usually too busy running. You know, you realize that you don't know everything, and neither does anyone else.
Yeah,
I mean that's the biggest breakthrough toward atheism is simply I don't know. You know, that feeling of this faith from within that tells you how the whole world works. Once that gets shaken, once you realize that there's a whole big complicated world out there and it's changing all the time, people have a whole different point of view. I think atheism is close on the heels of that. You know,
that's kind of like
does broaden the mind.
That's kind of like what religion is, though, isn't it? It's a simple answer to every complicated question. You know, it's the answer to why would this happen? Well, because God intended it.
It's avoiding the I don't know.
Right.
You know, how do we get here? We got a story. Why did that happen? We got a story. Instead of that simple I don't know. And once you've enjoyed the I don't know, it's fabulous. I mean, I don't know is awe, it's wonder, it's the beauty. There's nothing better.
I always, because you know, I've been in a lot of countries and I see some places why they should have religion because of the poverty issue. Because if you don't control the poor, you'll have mayhem. The rich can't live with the poor.
Yeah, I don't want to control the poor. I want them to not be poor.
Yeah, but I mean that's not the case. I don't want to land in Dubai and I'm getting kidnapped because
we're doing a pretty good job though. You know, the world just keeps getting better. I mean, there's two things that have always been true. One is the world keeps getting better, and two is people always think it's getting worse.
Shit.
Those are two things that happen. There are fewer people starving worldwide today than there were 100 years ago.
Okay.
Not percentage, but actual numbers. So there's a lot of work to do, but things are getting much more civilized all the time.
Why do you think it is then that, like, no matter who the president is, no matter what's going on, people now are saying the country's falling apart, we're on our last legs?
They've always done that throughout history. I think one reason is that you get older, and more of the responsibility falls on your shoulders. You become more aware of what's going on, and you get more worried. I mean, when you're 12 years old and your mom and dad are taking care of you, the world looks a lot more in control than when you're 50 and you're in control of the children yourself. I think that's a big part of it, that we tend to be so solipsistic, see everything from just our own point of view, that we don't see that fewer people starving, no polio. That's a pretty good thing. You know, I've not been to Africa. I've been to Egypt. I've been to India, and when you see, what polio and what polio looks like, it's just horrific. And in the U.S., we've done so much to eradicate all those horrors that things are getting better. And Bill Gates is doing a lot to get rid of polio everywhere. And malaria. Malaria is
that's the nigga right there, right?
Big killer.
That's that nigga right there, right?
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates is the man.
If you say he is, then he is.
What'd you say?
That's the nigga right there.
Yeah, he is. He's the guy.
Bad PENN JILLETTE up here. He was just telling us how he cut a bitch in half. He got away with murder.
Absolutely. We do that every night. When we do the song "The Woman in Half," we do this. Way we do it is we do it once as a trick, and then one's for real, right through her body, and all the guts spill out. It's a really good trick, and people ask afterwards, how did you do that? How did you? And I always go, in Vegas, life is cheap. We could not do this trick without the wonder of crack.
Can you give me your schedule? I want to schedule my wife for your next fucking shopping. Dude, you guys don't have beef in Vegas? Because there's so many magicians out there, so many like popular people. Like we had Carrot Top up here.
Yes.
We had the guy, I think half his head was up here. The one that got mauled by one of the twins.
Oh, right. Not twins.
Oh, Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy.
He was like, it was a bad interview, though. We couldn't even talk to him.
He's got his head bit off by a fucking tiger. Yeah.
He's like, I was like,
I did a bit, we did this bit on bullshit where we were talking about stress, and I wanted to do this bit, and Roy said, okay, we couldn't work out the scheduling, but it was me talking to the camera, talking about stress, and I said, everybody's talking about, modern day stress and how horrible stress is, and stress in the city. Stress is nothing compared to what it was thousands of years ago. I mean, you could get attacked by a wild animal.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're a magician in Vegas, it's not like you get your head bit off by a tiger and the camera's going to pull back and Roy was going to be sitting next to me on the couch and I was going to go, most people. And Roy said, cool. Roy was going to do it, and we couldn't work the schedule. I thought it'd be really, really funny. But yeah, Roy, it's amazing. You want to talk about the wonders of modern science? They got him to the trauma center in Vegas and saved his life after a tiger bit his fucking head off. I mean, it's as simple as that. The people don't live from that. They didn't used to live from that.
No.
Now, Roy is still alive and kicking, and I mean, he does look like he got his head bit off by a tiger.
I know, it was a bad interview. He's like, I was like, yo.
Well, don't blame him. He got his head. See how good you interview when your head's bit off by a tiger.
Right.
When was the transformation to atheism? Because he obviously was different
when
before.
I was a teenager.
Okay.
It was not going to Africa. It was reading the Bible.
Oh, wow.
The Bible has such, God said to Abraham, kill your son.
Wow.
Anyone says to me, kill your son, I have two words for them, and they aren't Merry Christmas.
Wow.
I don't care if you're God, you don't mess with my family. And Jesus says over and over again, put aside your family and come follow me. And my answer to that is no.
Exactly.
And I would rather run into a group of lions with you than abandon my family.
Who was the Holy Spirit, though? I heard he was banging everybody. Everybody's pregnant. I wish I was that nigga, man. Right?
That's who you want to be.
I want to be the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
My dick is the Holy Spirit right now.
You want to fill the women with the Holy Spirit. Is that the idea?